Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Eileen, and this is a daily dose of medicine walk. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, this is Healing House Radio. So, hello everyone, and we've got Luna, the MCAT, is here as she always is as soon as the camera starts rolling. Um, Today, I wanted to talk about something that is it's sort of an interesting issue for empaths because it deals with the emotion of anger. Now, first off, I do not see anger as a bad thing. Yeah, anger is simply an expression. Rage is a different thing. With anger, you can still have choice. With when it moves into rage, that's when we lose choice. And so today's question deals with that paradigm and how it's managed by those who not only experience anger through others, but then have their own anger to deal with. And the question is, how is experiencing anger different for empaths? Well, it can manifest in a lot of different ways. It can present itself, and it also depends on whether the anger is radiating outward or coming inward. An empath who is around an angry person is going to resonate with that person, especially if anger has a tendency to be something, an emotion that they resonate strongly with within themselves. Now, like I said, I separate anger and rage. Rage is when it goes to that next level, when we lose our ability to make conscious choices. And for empaths, being around people who are angry, it's like suddenly Luna got very interested in something and it caught my attention. For people who have a tendency to be around very angry people, sometimes it's family situations, sometimes it's work situations, and people can just generally be sort of in aggravated, or some people tend to fall into that a little bit more easily. And even though, the person tends to be angry, they're still going to be drawn to an empath because that person seems to understand them. That person seems to resonate with them. So the idea that if someone who is generally agitated still wants to be your buddy and still wants to vent at you about other people or the things that are irritating them, it's because of that resonance. And the person who is, the empath, can end up being caught in a very weird situation because once you spend a lot of time immersed in that type of energy, it does soak in and it does create for an agitated empath. And as I've said before, empathy is not just received, it's transmitted. So then you have someone who can transmit, who's kind of saturated with that angry energy, and it leaks out. And they have a tendency to just bring people who are around them into that state of mind. So being an empath means that you have to be very, very conscious of what it is that you're around, what it is you're exposed to, and who is influencing where you are energetically. Your goal is to remain in a balanced state because it's when we are in balance, that's when we have the most choice. And that's when it's easiest for us to manage our empathy. Now, if you're dealing with someone who is in a state of rage, that takes it to a whole nother level. And that's when it's especially important to be able to divide and separate yourself from the energy that's coming in. Because if that rage is directed at the empath, and I mean, if anybody is in a situation where somebody is directing rage at you, get out. You can't talk to them. You can't talk them down. They have exceeded anger and you need to get away from them. Honestly, you need to leave that environment. Because, as I said, rage means that all bets are off. So the idea that you can, and as an empath, sometimes we believe that we can connect with someone and help bring them back. That's not always the case. There's a lot of things that can affect that ability. And so you want to make sure that you remain separate from that and stay conscious and be aware, because if that person is escalating, it's not going to go anywhere good, and it's not going to go anywhere positive, and you could get hurt. So, the idea that you are going to, first and foremost, protect yourself. And that means also energetically. You do not need to have that rage energy working its way in. Leave. And if you are an empath and for some reason you're in a rage moment, understand that you can do a lot of damage to those around you, because you are no longer conscious of the fact that you need to, dial it back, that you need to be responsible for what you transmit. Rage takes away choice. So, and I think we're going to be going through different emotional states. So this one, we're dealing with anger and rage, but there's also, ways of dealing with fear. There's ways of dealing with love. There's ways of dealing with hopelessness and with hopefulness and all of those things. Every emotion has its light and shadow. And, anger has a light side, which is determination, which is conviction. And it's when it moves into rage that it goes just into that shadow place, because then you're just dealing with something primal. And as an empath, you need to be able to separate from that. So if you are dealing with someone who is angry, just realize that anger does not belong to you. Separate from it. If you are not practiced enough yet to be able to shut it off or turn that dimmer switch way down, I mean, you can still listen. It doesn't mean that you can't listen to someone who's angry. And it doesn't mean that you can't de-escalate someone who is angry, because while they're still in anger, yes, they can be listened to. You can't really tell them anything, but you can energetically connect, help them come down to the point where they will express what it is. I mean, it's not necessarily about getting them to listen to you. Oh, well, you need to calm down. No, that's not the way to deal with them. Allow them to redirect it. And you can use empathy to help someone redirect what their anger is and to help them identify their own anger by talking it out. If they're verbalizing it, then they're not holding on to it so tight. It's not this force. It begins to abate if they have a chance to allow themselves to talk themselves down. And if you're the one who's angry, then either talk to somebody or find a way to, to recognize, okay, where is this coming from? Where is this originating in me? Is it originating in fear? Is it originating in resentment? Is it originating in an old wound? So, we have ways to be able to take a look at what we're feeling and break it down. And as I said before, emotions and feelings we are better at dealing with than anybody else, because we experience so many. We experience different flavors and nuances of it just in dealing with people. So that just gets turned inward and we take a look at it, and we can look at it objectively, as long as you can stay in choice. So anger's not bad. It is just to be managed, just like everything else. And if you have problems with that, please contact me and let me know, and I can help you with your particular situation. So I hope that answered your question. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments section. If you appreciate this video, please like it, and please consider subscribing to the channel. We're creeping up on our first 100, which is really exciting. And I hope that these topics are helpful. And if you have a particular question that maybe I haven't covered, please feel free to contact me and I will do a video on it. You can reach me through my Twitter, links, which are in the description. And you can also reach me through my Facebook group, Medicine Walk with Dr. Eileen. So, thank you for joining me. And, as always, wish you balance, and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you, and see you tomorrow. Bye.